Good morning, and welcome to another segment of My Tea for the Week. Oh, it's your girl, Valerie Locust. And ladies, today I want to talk to you about a very sensitive subject, and that is how do we recover after we have suffered a devastating, unexpected loss? So go ahead and grab that tea and meet me at the table as I share my ashes, my pain, my story. Wouldn't it be a wonderful world to live in if we never had to suffer any type of hurt or pain or loss? Just every day full of sunshine and never no rain? But honey, that ain't the world we live in. No. Every last one of us, sooner or later, will suffer a great loss. And with that loss always comes two elements. Oh, yeah. One is ashes that reminds us of what we had and no longer is here. And two, pain, the overwhelming heartbreak, heartache, grieving because that loved one is no longer here with us. So today I just want you to sit back and sip on that tea as I share with you, if you're in that place today, to be able to one day stand back up, smile, live, love, and just live your life to the fullest. As I share with you my ashes, my pain. Oh yeah, this is my story. When my daughter Shalonda was born, never in a million years when I was holding her, feeding her, bathing her, oohing and on her, talking to her, laughing at her, watching her grow and develop, that at the age of 36, I would be laying my daughter to rest after fighting a 2-year battle with breast cancer. I don't think I have to tell anybody how heartbroken, how devastated I was. I mean, I felt pain that I didn't know even existed. I was helpless, I was hopeless, and definitely I was in despair. And because this unexpected loss was so great, it plummeted me into a dark place, a place that was unexplainable or even describable. I just know it was a dark, dark place. And in that dark place, the only thing that brought comfort to me, as crazy as it sounds, were the ashes, the memory of my daughter, the things that she left behind, and then the pain that I just embraced, because at that moment, that was the only thing that made sense to me. And what was worse was that although I knew I was in a terrible, terrible place, I didn't have the strength nor even the mindset to want to get up out of those ashes. No. Even after people would say from time to time, Valerie, I know you're in a bad place. I know this is a hard place. But there's light after the tunnel. Honey, let me help you out with something. When you are suffering a great loss, ain't no need of talking about no light at the end of no tunnel. Honey, you can't see a tunnel. All you can see at that moment is what you had and what you don't have right now at that moment. And instead of that bringing some type of relief, honey, it just makes you want to go further down into that dark place. Yeah, honey, listen, you will beat the groundhog digging down deeper. You ain't trying to come out of there. And I know people mean well. I really do. But when you're dealing with that type of loss, sometimes the best thing to do for that person is just simply pray for them, because at that point Nothing you say or do matters to them. And that's the honest truth. So let's talk about some things I went through when I was in that deep, dark place. Number one, I went through shock and disbelief. That's right. Shock because when Shalonda went through it the first time and beat it, when it resurfaced, I never once thought in my mind that she wouldn't beat it again. So when that didn't happen and she passed, it threw me into total disbelief and shock. Number two, I went through a very bad state of depression. Oh yeah, that's right. I was so depressed because I felt like I didn't have nobody I could talk to. Nobody would understand. So what I did, I disconnected myself from everything and everybody. That's right. I was to a place to where I was just merely existing. I really wasn't living, y'all. And then number three, I went through a phase of being angry and confused. Angry because I felt like she was too young to be gone. I mean, how can she be here for 30-something years and you gone? I mean, she had 3 children. Lord, and a dog. But now she's not here. And I was in a state of confusion. But when you're going through that type of loss, that grief, nothing makes sense to you except the fact that you had her and now she's not here. And you go through here trying to get answers that you can't get answers to. So your mind is just in a state of confusion. Number 4, I refused to get rid of anything that belonged to her. Why, Valerie? Because at that moment, when you're in that dark place, the things that you have of hers that are left in some kind of way makes you feel close to her or close to your loved one. So getting rid of her things at the time wasn't an option. They were painful memories, but they were the only memories that I had. So I held on to those things until I was able to allow my daughter and my granddaughters to just go in there and, do what they needed to do. And number 5, I didn't allow myself to grieve. I didn't want to think about the pain. I didn't want to think about the loss. I didn't want to think about her not being here. I didn't want to think about she wasn't coming back. So I refused to allow myself to grieve properly. But eventually, it catches up with you. At some point, I had a total meltdown. That's just how dangerous it can be when you're in those places and you don't see a way out. So Valerie, what did you do? How did you get from sitting in the ashes and embracing your pain to being able to stand up and live again? I'll tell you exactly what I did. Number 1, I simply acknowledged that pain. That's right. I couldn't dance around it no more. I couldn't act like I wasn't hurting no more. I couldn't act like it never existed. No, I had to look that thing square in the face for what it was. And then I had to allow myself to grieve. That's right. As hard as it was, I had to muster up strength and tell myself, Valerie, it's okay to let go of this pain. And I'm not saying that it was easy, because it wasn't. But what I can say is that once I did it, I truly believe that's when my healing process started. Number 2, I started talking to people who had actually gone through the same type of loss. I really believe that different losses, like the loss of a spouse or your parent or your sibling, is totally different than the loss of a child. So I had to talk to someone who had gone through the same experience. Now, had that not worked for me, I had also looked into going to a support group. And number 3, I had to realize and convince myself that it was okay to talk about Shalonda in a positive way, even though she was no longer here. Yeah, see, when that first happened, I didn't want to talk about her. I didn't want nobody else to talk about her. I just felt like that was just my own little private pain party. But it's okay to talk about the good thing, the positive things. See, like with Shalonda, everybody who knew her knew that she loved to cook. She loved her family. She loved people. She loved animals. Loved taking pictures, honey. And wouldn't take a picture unless you took it on the side where she had that one dimple. Oh yeah, honey, she'd stop you in a minute and tell you, wait, mama, my dimple ain't showing. So things like that helped me even the more to start to heal. And listen, it might be hard in the beginning. I'm sure it will be. But just keep doing it. And I'm telling you, eventually, you'll slowly but surely find yourself gaining enough strength to stand up in the midst of those ashes and walk out of the pain that's been holding you hostage for so long. You'll start laughing again. You'll start loving again. Honey, you'll start living again. And that's what you want. So ladies, I pray today that if you're going through this terrible storm right now, that by me sharing my story with you today, it will help encourage and strengthen you. If you're in that dark place where all you can see are the ashes and the pain, just know that eventually you'll come out. Oh yeah, it's raining, and it's raining really hard, but eventually the sun will shine again. So I'm your girl, Valerie Locust. Thanks so much for tuning in. And as always, cheers to the new and improved you.